since the live-action Snow White movie was announced, I've become increasingly frustrated and frankly a little disturbed that I haven't been contacted to reprise my role as Sleepy, but it's a tough industry. At least you know the person reviewing it is close to the material. I've never reviewed a Disney live-action remake on my channel before, but we all know the deal with these things by now. Some of them are okay, most of them leave a bad taste in your mouth. There's a reason I don't love talking about them, but this one in particular was plagued by controversy, which has been used to refer to things all the way from updating the story to make Snow White a more empowered character, to Gal Gadot being a Zionist and generally a bad actress, to Rachel Zegler just being Latina, I guess. It's made the release of the film feel pretty dour, and I can't say that the movie is able to cure that lack of enthusiasm, at least for me. I did not think it was good, but I've seen a lot of critics or whoever say that they were pleasantly surprised by this film. Whether that's a reflection of the film's quality or how low our expectations are for these now, probably a bit of both. I do think there are some highlights here, but also some very fascinating issues, so let's talk about it and get straight to the point, honestly, because the first thing everyone has been saying to me about this film is, oh, haha, is it woke? The question on everyone's mind, I guess, and it makes the outrage even funnier because, yes, there are things added to the story here, but every element of the original Snow White story is fleshed out or completely changed, from the characters to the backstory, and this arc of Snow White learning how to be a leader and unifying people in the face of the evil queen's tyranny is pretty benign. It doesn't feel forced. It makes sense for a more developed version of this. She's the evil queen's foil. And it's got a bit of tough love for Snow White. One of the love interests, his name is Jonathan, one of his songs is about how she's basically an idealist because she was born a princess and doesn't see the world for how it is. So that was interesting. There is still a love interest. I think people will be surprised by how much they also kept, and I actually think it feels at odds with itself for that reason. It's beholden to the original story, and so it can at times not only feel like it's overcomplicating itself, but undermining where it's trying to take those updated themes of agency and even like what it means to be the fairest of them all, things like that. I think it's genuinely great that they're trying to update it, but it's like, pick a lane or maybe just don't make the movie at all. In terms of the seven dwarves or magical creatures, I don't think they're like referred to anything in the film, at least that I can remember, but I will defer to Peter Dinklage's comments that basically assert that all of this is very performative. You can't pick and choose what you want to update or acknowledge as problematic to force the movie to happen. The CGI is weird. I think the whole thing is just a little weird. I do want to shout out that one of my favorite things they added is that Dopey gets a little arc, and it's like legitimately the most emotionally effective part of the film, partially thanks to Andrew Barth Feldman as well. Gal Gadot, there's no other way to say it, is impressively bad, like hard to watch at times. And I tweeted about this and everyone's like, yeah, water is wet. Like, I don't think anyone has really liked her as an actress for a while, but it's still surprising, you know? It's like how a sunset is always beautiful. I'm repeatedly in awe of it like it's the first time. It's hard to describe, like, she's going for theatrics here. She's trying to choose scenery and be this campy, wicked villain, and it just doesn't work at all. Like, it doesn't come naturally to her. It's kind of cringy, and I'm just bummed that if that's what they wanted and that's what they were going for, it wasn't someone who can be animated like that and really sell it. Conversely, Rachel Zegler manages to be really great and cute here with what she has to work with. I think the conflicting tones and themes kind of trickle into her character as well, because she's simultaneously really pure of heart, but then she banters with Jonathan. Like, Snow White doesn't have a very distinct personality because the film doesn't. Can't say I love the hair, and I actually don't think it's the style itself, but it's just very kiddish. Like, Snow White was originally meant to be 14 years old or something like that, and Rachel Zegler is very clearly a 23-year-old young woman. So I say either change the hair or have her change her outfit at some point, but that's neither here nor there. I also don't really agree with people saying that her voice isn't fit for this because the songs are completely different. They're not like really high soprano pieces all the time, and they're clearly not going for this delicate falsetto thing. Like, she has some really powerful moments performing the songs, especially with Waiting on a Wish. It's probably one of the better scenes in the film. But if you haven't heard, the songs are completely different here. Like, there are many of them, and they're new. I think Hi Ho is the only one that they really kept, and they make it this like modernized extended version. Or no, they have Whistle While You Work as well, and that one's like more true to the original song. The songs aren't all terrible, but they are just very like contemporary and poppy, like stuff you would hear in any movie like this nowadays. The hi-ho scene is probably like the visual centerpiece of the film. It's big and colorful and flashy. It's like a Disney ride, but you're like no, it's hi-ho, like I like the original. And that sequence also brings me to maybe my biggest issue with all of these remakes, which is that even when there's really good work being done here, like they have some very talented people involved with this film. Songwriters from La La Land, the choreographer from La La Land and Babylon, Sandy Powell did the costuming, Mandy Walker did the cinematography, she did Elvis, which is a very visually dazzling and dynamic film. You see these things peek out in small moments, but because it's this big studio, big Disney production, it's all chopped to bits by poor green screen, shooting for coverage. And not the CGI itself, but in this case, there's like this weird juxtaposition between the magical forest around the dwarf's house, and then they're just in like a very regular looking forest, and the film looks totally different. There are moments where the lighting is different from shot to shot, and in general, the filmmaking just doesn't feel like it involves the audience. It's not immersive. Like there are fun ideas in the musical sequences that feel like they're executed in the most boring, distant way possible. Is that because of the CGI restrictions? I don't know. Like Mark Webb isn't an untalented guy. Is he who I would have chosen to direct this film? Probably not, but I don't want to fault him for all of that. Like we've seen plenty of great directors' style and visions be squashed in studio productions like this. But I was just begging for more dynamic camera work and just a bit of infectious energy, like a little vigor. You're kind of just watching everything play out on the screen. And a lot of that is also because it's not very emotionally effective. It can drag at times. Take your pick. It's times like these where I think of Legend, Ridley Scott's Disney princess movie about Tom Cruise and one of the most gorgeous films ever constructed, as an example of how fantasy worlds can be brought to life in a way that is tangible and enchanting. It's just really tough to go from these original animated films where every single frame is so textured and stunning and see this. Like it's a losing game trying to capture that magic the way that they are with these films. All of that is to say that yes, water is wet. The live action Snow White film has the same issues as all of the other ones. And I do want to reiterate that there are moments and ideas that I enjoyed. Rachel Zegler is really good in the film, but the final product just feels hobbled by the Disney machine, at odds with itself, uninspired, and unnecessary. So I'm going to give Snow White 2 out of 5 stars. Kids and families might get some enjoyment out of it. There were a lot of kids at my screening. I heard some sniffling, and I do think a lot of the updates are a step in the right direction for what kids should see. But from a cinematic standpoint, if this is our, Snow White for a new generation, I worry for our children. But let me know your thoughts on Snow White, guys. Are you planning to head to the theater to see it this weekend? Next up, I don't know. I already saw Warfare, and I'm kind of dying to talk about it with you guys. It's a fascinating movie, so we will be talking about that once April comes around. So don't forget to like and subscribe and keep an eye out for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.